And get started. All right. Welcome everybody to the International Speaker Network free webinar for October 1st, 2019. Now, I also have merged this group with the Women's Speakers Association that I was kind of heading up on Meetup for a while, and so I invite them to these as it's all one important speaker meeting, because why have two? Because it's, I think, too much. So if you're here because of women speakers, great. If you're here because of international speakers, I would like to get everybody into the International Speaker Network meetup, just so I don't have to talk to two different groups. That's, you know, at some point that's going to be a little complicated. So welcome everybody. The agenda is that we do introductions around the room, and then we I have a couple announcements probably of just the group itself, which is very small. And then we'll have Sonika, who is up in the corner at Christensen Peterson. It's really Sonika Tinker. She's our 15-minute speaker today, sharing on stepping into your full potential. Then there could be some Q&A, slight discussion around that. So hold your questions while she's presenting. Post them in the chat room if you want while she's presenting, and then we can go through the chat room. And then after that, hopefully there's room and time for a 4 or 5 minute hot seat where I just ask the room if there's anybody that needs help with anything, something you're working on, you're planning out a new speech, you need some feedback, you are trying to get started speaking, how do you find gigs, you have issues with your business or your website or whatever it is, you can raise your hand and we'll choose 1, maybe 2 people to present their issue, and then we all can give feedback. So it's a very collaborative kind of a situation there on the feedback mastermind hot seat thing at the end. And then of course at the end we want to go around the room quickly and say, okay, where can we find you speaking? Webinar. And if you're in a noisy place, if you can mute yourself, that would be great until it's time for introductions. So while we're introducing ourselves, open up the chat room, however, and make sure you're putting what you're saying in like your introduction in a blurb over in the chat room. Ideally, write the blurb before you press enter, because otherwise it'll be all broken up, okay? So you want it to be in like one foul swoop, or write it over in Word and then with the link to your website or your free gift, and then copy and paste it into the chat room for the best deliverability and easy for us to see what you do. So make it easy for us when you're doing that. I know there's a few new people on the line. I think I covered the logistics really quickly. Anybody have any questions? All right, great. Well, hopefully you'll find through the introductions some people you might want to chat with afterwards, take it off to a phone call, either for, you know, buying their stuff or them buying you, or maybe you have looking for guests for your podcast, or maybe you're looking for, maybe you could be potential referral sources or collaboration partners. So keep your ears open to potential, all kinds of different potential opportunities. And then hopefully you'll learn a few things from Sonika as well. And you can give advice back, so it showcases your expertise. So this kind of a call is really designed to make it a win-win-win for everybody here. So I will go first for introductions. So some of you don't know me. I'm Katrina Sawa, and I'm known as the Jumpstart Your Biz Coach, because I kick people in their butt to get stuff done so that they can make a lot more money doing what they love. And it breaks my heart to see people working super hard for not enough money. So if you have been trying things and it's not working, or you know you need to be doing certain aspects but you aren't sure how to implement them or which things to focus on, then I'm your gal to really help you focus on the revenue generating activities, of which I have a webinar coming up next Tuesday as well. So I'll tell you more about that later, which you can come on to. I have live events. I do coaching. I have lots of books. I help people get published in their books, and I also help people speak. So if you're getting started speaking, we can create your topic, your title, your talk, your speaker sheet, everything you do because it makes money. So that's what I do. I have a bunch of free stuff. I'll put it in the chat, jumpstartyourmarketing.com. So, okay, Tina, and then Chuck, and then Lisa.
Hello. I am a life coach and a massage therapist, a author, and a workshop facilitator. I work in the Sacramento, Yuba City, Quincy area, and am excited to be announcing that my husband and I are up and running with our new retreat space up off of Highway 70 near Quincy.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you. Chuck?
Chuck Hooper. I am a speaker coach, speaker author. I've got 3.028 books out. Katrina laughs. One chapter in one of her compilation books.
He's got a good sense of humor. Okay. So,
It's the only sense I have.
Right. And he's amazing, you guys. You gotta connect with Chuck for sure. He comes to all of these. And he knows a lot of stuff. Lisa, you're muted or unmute that.
I am a virtual expert. I work with authors, speakers, and coaches and entrepreneurs, and I help them with their client relations and content. I do some blogging. I do social media. I can do editing and proofreading. And I recently started writing my own book.
Awesome. What's it called?
It is actually about a mentor. So it's kind of about a life of a mentor. So it's his name.
Oh, fun. Okay. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here because a lot of people need your assistance often. So very cool.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Gary, Ada, Sharon.
Okay, this is Gary McKenzie. I work with individuals to grow their business. And in particular, individuals want to use public speaking as a way to expand their business and leverage their business. And they really focus on your wording, on the verbiage, the phrases you use that will connect with your audience and help your audience increase that know, like, and trust factor. And the trust factor is really important because they won't buy from you if they don't trust you. So we use language as a way to connect with your audience, and also certainly body language. And we work with individuals on how to use the stage, whether it's the stage in front of 2 or 3 people or the stage in front of thousands of individuals. So I'm Gary McKenzie, and always glad to talk about business issues.
Awesome. And if you guys are just coming on, we're doing some introductions. I'll get to you. If you can make sure you mute if you're in a noisy place, and we'll get around to you. Thank you. All right, Ada and then Sharon.
My clients go from procrastination to productivity as they achieve their goals and are in a position to live in productivity and passion and to do so profitably. My name is Ada Lloyd, and I created the Momentum Planner. I teach, I coach, I write, I talk a lot. And if you're ready to go from procrastination and saying, when I, to productivity and saying, now that let's talk.
Awesome. Another reminder just to please mute yourself if you're in a noisy place or doing stuff on your computer. That'd be great until it's your turn. Okay. Sharon, and then Ariane, and then Barb, and Gracia. We can't hear you, Sharon. We see you talking, and it looked like you unmuted. Maybe you don't have a microphone connected. Can you go down below and while we move on a little bit, go toggle and see if you can change it to computer audio or something like that. And then also put in the chat if you can come back or not. I'll come back to you. Ariane, and then Barb and Gracia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ariane Thomas, and I am the author of 2 books and co-author of 3 international anthologies. And I am a speaker, and I do private sessions with shamanic journeying and changing people's genetic codes for health, happiness, success, and better relationships. And so I also teach ancestral lineage clearing and how to go back and contact your ancestors and have them help you.
Awesome. Thank you. Barbara Gracia, then Leah Carr, then Barbara Ellison.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ingracia, and I live in central Massachusetts. I equip people to guard their gold mine. The intellectual property that you are creating is your gold mine. And it's so easy for others to search, copy, paste, send, and steal your stuff. And so I help you put simple measures in place to protect, to guard your gold mine so that you don't have to go out and defend your gold mine. I work one-on-one with people, with small groups. I especially like to do workshops and bring some fun to a heavy topic. And I'm on my way to Milwaukee to speak, and then the next week, Oklahoma City.
Awesome. Thanks, Barb. Leah? Are you there? We can't hear you. Oh, we can't hear you. Can you troubleshoot quickly? Okay, keep trying. How about Barbara Ellison?
Being both money to fix or buy a car. I had two cars.
Hi, this is Barbara. I hear somebody else talking too.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Barbara.
Okay. Hi, my name is Barbara Ellison. Hi, my name is Barbara Ellison, and I am on a mission to bring happiness back into the workplace and into the world. But I've started a moving on movement. As a widow, there are so many people, so many women. I'm working with women who have lost their partner, and they are ready to move on, but they don't know how to. So I'm giving them tips and strategies on what I had to do to move on from losing my husband. So, and I put my Facebook, and I've started a Facebook group. I just want some advice later about, I'm doing a boot camp. I want to do a boot camp on how to be on. My hashtag is Get Your Happy Back.
Okay, awesome. Love that. All right, how about Alexis on the phone, and then the gal who's Samsung SM. Is that Manya?
Shani.
Shani. Okay, so we'll come to you after Alexis, who's on the phone.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alexis Nunley. I'm here in Sacramento, California. Actually, this is my first meeting with all of you, so I'm really excited. I actually I don't consider myself a speaker, although I have been asked to speak about some things that are near and dear to my heart, like homeless children and violence and abuse in our children. And I have also helped, children present and speak and stuff like that, but on a small scale. You guys sound like you guys are on this big scale. So I actually came, just to actually trying to grow myself, and also to, get some mentorship and stuff like that. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, you're in the right place, and trust me, not everybody here is all dialed in like you think. We're all still working in progress over here, and so yeah, you're in.
Okay.
We just might have made a few more mistakes than you, which we can save you from.
Okay.
All right, Shani.
Hi, I'm Shani Harris. I'm building my company. It's called Radically Empowered Woman, and I help women empower them to stop living the life they think they deserve and go after the life that they truly deserve and live their best life, create their best life. I'm also a comedian. That's like my side fun thing to do. All of it's fun, really, but comedian is the outlet, and Radically Empowered Woman is my life's purpose. I think comedian is my life's purpose too. But you know, I want to make people happy, make them laugh, make them feel good, and also empower women to live their best life. And I'm in Northern California.
Whereabouts?
Grass Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of us are in the Sacramento area, so
Yeah.
not all of us. But okay, let's see. Leah, is your mic working yet or no? It says it's out. You're dead. We can't hear you. No. Okay. All right. Well, you'll have to be talking in the chat then. Or please put your website and all that kind of stuff so we can check you out, or put a good bio kind of thing. Yeah, Ariane's in Grass Valley. There you go. Okay, great. So I think I got everybody that's still on. So real quick, there's we have a couple more events coming up for in person for the Speaker Network. For the end of the year, we have a luncheon. It's usually this first Wednesday, but it's not tomorrow. It's actually next Wednesday, the 9th. So in case you would like to join us in person, if you're somewhat local, it's in Roseville at the Old Spaghetti Factory from 11:30 to 1:30. And we have 2 speakers at the luncheon because it's a 2-hour meeting. We have like a 15-minute and a 20-minute speaker. Tomorrow we're going to talk, or next week we're going to talk about how to win 100% of the time, even if you get no's kind of thing. And body image. We're going to talk about body image and speaking and networking and things like that. So those are the topics, but we still do introductions, we still do promotions, and we still do hot seats. So, and you can come and bring a prize if you want to come. So that's going to be the last luncheon of the year. There's going to be a mixer on November 21st, which is a Thursday, and that's going to also be at the Old Spaghetti Factory, unless I might change it. I don't know yet. I might change the location. But 5 to 7 is the mixer, and that we have a very short speaker, but it's mostly just for fun and holidays and hopefully to gather a bunch of people. So that's the 2 in-person events for the rest of the year. And then there will still be a webinar in November and probably December as well. December will probably be more of a business planning webinar for planning for next year. And so there you go. So there's the updates of, and they should be on the meetup page already. If they're not, you know, we'll send it out. But I am looking for next year. I think what I'm going to do, if meetup will allow me, to not post an in-person event every month. I am not going to be doing an in-person event every month next year. We're going to be doing monthly webinars like this because I think it attracts a good group. And we get in, we get out, we get some good content, we get some good masterminding going, and I know a lot of people find value in this call. So, and then I think what I want to try to do is do a quarterly, one-day speaker event where maybe we have like 3 or 4 speakers. It's an all-day thing at a hotel kind of thing, and maybe even have some vendors or something like that. So it's a little bit different of a type of an event. That's my brainchild that came to me this morning in the shower. And so a quarterly thing. So there will be speaking opportunities at that. Let me give me some time to update the sign up page for that. But if you want to write it down and look at it in November, you can go to sacspeaker.com, and it will be in the greater Sacramento area, all 4 of those if we do it quarterly. I'm not going to move that around right now. But so that's the in-person stuff next year, if I can get away with just doing those on Meetup. Otherwise, I'll have to take it off Meetup and do the group. So that's kind of my thinking. Any questions on the group itself and activities? Okay. So if you like these webinars, just keep coming. And then if you like these webinars, there is also another organization that I started, the International Entrepreneur Network. And that's more of an investment, like it's $7 a month. But there's 3 Zoom calls a month. No speakers. It's all hot seat, Q&A, sharing resources. That's a great place to go if you're still building your business and you need clients and you want support like that. I'll put the link in the chat, but it's iEntrepreneurNetwork.com, just like iSpeakerNetwork.com, but entrepreneur. So those are some announcements. And Would love to have you get more involved. Again, I still want to be able to supply speaking opportunities to people through this group, as well as networking and masterminding and collaboration, because that's what we all need, right? So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Sonika, and then you can take it away. Let's see, I'm gonna find your speaker bio. All right. So today we're going to talk, Sonika is going to talk about stepping into your full potential. And let's see, Sonika Tinker, MSW, is a business owner, relationship specialist, certified mediator, certified Enneagram teacher, certified NLP professional, co-author of Seize Your Opportunities and The Good Divorce, and is the founder of LoveWorks, loveworksforyou.com, a relationship and life skills training company. Sonika has over 40 years experience in coaching thousands of men and women to create fulfilling lives and relationships. She produces and leads live transformational trainings and online courses with her husband, Christian Peterson, and has a private coaching practice in Northern California. So share anything else you'd like to share, of course, and dive on in. And we are waiting with bated breath to see what we can learn from you today.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me. You know, I'll start by saying, you know, in 1991, there was a day in the summer where I quit my job in the morning and I bought a house in the Bay Area in the afternoon. And I had no idea how the heck I was going to pay for this mortgage. And it was in that space of infinite possibility, right? In that spaciousness that my business, LoveWorks, was born. And I say it was created in that space, and it was created from the future. Like it was actually born out of my need to pay for a mortgage with no job. And you know, usually when we go to create, we normally create from the past. So let me just explain that here for a little bit. If I were to have a conversation with each of you, and we kind of did it a little bit even in our introductions, if I were going to ask you who you are, what you do, what you've accomplished in your life, how much money do you make, where do you go to answer those questions? Usually where we go is to the past, right? We go to what we have accomplished up until this point to answer the question, right? I'm a mom, I'm a coach, I'm a relationship trainer, I make $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month based on what we have accomplished in the past. And when we do that, we inadvertently limit ourselves to what we have created up until this point. You know, I'm a relationship trainer, so I get to see that a lot in relationships where people are, you know, coming in to work with me and talking about what they have created up until this point, and they want to create a transformation or a shift on top of this history rather than this new place I'm going to talk with you here about, which is how do you create from the future? So how do you create from possibility that is not being limited by what we've accomplished up until this point? So I want to just say a quick thing here, which is that, you know, when partly what has us move that way with each other is we live in what I call a Cartesian reality, where most of us move like we can kind of look out at our lives and we can observe what's out there, and then we can speak it like a declaration. That's what has us, when we say who we are and what do we do and how much money we make, that's what has us look backwards and then make these assessments, make these declarations like this is who I am and this is what I do. And some of you might have heard about quantum physics. Quantum mechanics is kind of pointing to this idea that there's no way reality just is like a fixed thing. But it's like we can muck with it, we can influence it, we can create it depending on what we focus in on and what we create and what we speak and what we expect and how we move. You know, so we can affect reality out there. And when we, you know, when I first heard about this whole quantum physics things, I was like, you know, oh my God, what are we made up of? We're made up of energy. Right? That means there's no way I just am. I can be anything. I can do anything. And so how can we tap into that potential? Like, that became the question I asked. How do I tap into that potential and create from there? So I want to actually lead you all in this very powerful visualization. It'll take just a couple of minutes here. I know I only got 10 minutes to talk. So if you have a chance actually to go ahead and close your eyes, and I'm just going to guide you through this experience, and then we'll talk about the power of it afterwards. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, I invite you to take yourself to a place where you feel really peaceful and safe. So it can be any place at all. It can be a place outside in nature, a special room someplace, a place you've been to before, or a new place you're creating here in your mind. And in this place, just allow yourself to look around and see what there is to see in this place. Just drink in your surroundings. Notice any sounds, sensations. And in this place, see coming towards you an image of you in your fullest potential. The you would be if you were the most powerful, centered, wise, loving, generous, successful being you can imagine being. And just see this image of you in your full potential coming towards you. And just notice, as you look at your full potential here, notice how your full potential carries themselves, what they're wearing. What feeling is evoked in you as you look upon this image of you and your full potential? And in the privacy of your mind here, ask your full potential, what is one action you can take today to support you to step into your full potential in your business? What's one action you can take to step into your full potential, and listen to what your full potential tells you? Whether words, pictures, just listen to this guidance. And with whatever guidance you've just received, actually picture yourself doing that, or taking that action, taking that risk, saying that thing, completing that task. Actually imagine yourself implementing this guidance. And go ahead and return now to your full potential, and just thank your full potential for this guidance, for this feedback. And as you complete this time with your full potential, take a nice deep breath And just allow yourself to blend with this image until you and this full potential being are one and the same. So either step inside your full potential or let your full potential image seep inside of you. Just in some way blend until you and this full potential being are one and the same. And when you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath and open your eyes and come on back here into this space. So the one thing that I will say here in terms of creating from the future is they have done research actually to show like this full potential image you just created here in your mind is a holodyne that has the potential to cause reality to happen. And the more you connect in with this image of your full potential, and the more you ask questions, I have done this exercise probably, I don't even know, 1,000 times in my life. And every single time my full potential tells me exactly what I need to do. It is right on, customized feedback every time. And when I do this with my clients, they immediately take risks they wouldn't otherwise take because their full potential told them to. And when you take in that feedback and begin to identify yourself as this full potential, right? From that place, if you're to play out like, well, who am I in my full potential? And you answer from the future, when I say then, who are you? What do you do? How much money you make? You're likely to have a very different response when you answer from your full potential. You know, who I am is an author. Who I am is a person who speaks internationally at sold out events, right? I make $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month. You know, we have a different response when we answer from this full potential place. And when we do that, we're able to live into that and step into it more and more. And I'll end with a question here that I find very powerful to live inside of is, I call it living in the question. You know, if I were this full potential being, right? If I were already this leader, if I were already this author, what would I do or say right now? And then I let answers come and I take action from there. And that is also just as powerful as connecting in with this full potential image. It's a way of solidifying it and backing it up with action. And from there, we get to live into this vision unlimited by where we've come from in the past. So it's a very powerful process. I'm out of time here, so I'll end there, and I'm totally open to questions if there's time. But I'll tell you, it's an amazing process to be able to create from there and live from there and notice what we can step into and create from that place.
I totally agree. We have to think bigger these days, right? We have to, I like how you rephrased it in a different light, so to speak. Because if we're not thinking bigger, then we're staying small. And if we're not thinking outside of what we know to be true, then we're not brainstorming enough, frankly. I get people telling me all the time, it's like, oh my God, didn't even think about that. Or like someone even today said, wow, you really think outside the box. I'm like, yeah, because who wants to stay in a box, right? So anybody have any questions for Sonika or thoughts around all of that? Make sure you unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Well, I absolutely loved it, Sonika. I'm a big fan of visualization and capitalizing on that inner power that we're born with to use our mind, our imagination in sync with our internal calling. And so I really appreciate that you showed up today. I wrote a book called Experiencing Serendipity. So this moment with you was very serendipitous because I needed to have somebody turn that switch on for me, which I'm usually turning it on for other people. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You know, to say about this full potential visualization, you know, every time I do it, my full potential often shows up differently, which in and of itself has a message. You know, so sometimes she's on a pogo stick, which is like, play more. You know, sometimes she's, you know, got this staff, like, claim your leadership, make this move today. And it's really is customized feedback, and the visualization itself often has a message in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I loved your message also. And one of the things that I work with so much is that the ultimate freedom that we have is our freedom to choose, our attitude, our choices, who we're going to be. And I like the way this adds another dimension to that. And you mentioned a word I'm not familiar with, paradigm. Can you plug that word into the chat? Because I really want to explore it.
Okay. You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, when we think of paradigm, we think of, like, you know, it's something that influences and creates like a framework around our thinking. And when we can expand our paradigm to this place of infinite possibility, like, you know, then we're not limited at all. We really can step outside the box, and we don't have to be who we've been, and we don't have to accomplish what we've accomplished in the past. You know, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, from that standpoint, yeah, you know, paradigm is something I'm familiar with, but somehow just the way that you used it struck me as different. It was like, what is this? It just really was intriguing to me.
Yep, awesome. Well, I have fun exploring that. Like, it really is this, you know, I think of it as this opportunity to step outside our current limited thinking into this place of infinite, really, where anything is possible. You know, in 2008, I lost everything and almost went to, you know, bankruptcy and foreclosure. And, you know, I used this creating from the future, like, I will not go down. I'm going to be a great role model for other people. I'm going to make good on this. And I was able to actually keep my house, and I created a six-figure business in the first year. And it really came from, like, I'm going to create this.
Any other thoughts or questions? Awesome. Okay, great. Well, make sure, do you have something like where we could drive to a website? And I always like to give speakers opportunity to, you know, see if you guys want to come and take advantage of a free thing that you might have, or.
You know, I will post something in the chat box. You know, if you want this full potential visualization, we actually have it on CD and audio that you can download as well if you want to just listen to that yourself and get guided through that. So I can put that in there as well. And my husband and I do relationship trainings. We've got one coming up here this weekend where we save marriages and have singles open their hearts again, using this exact model of, you know, let's create what we want to create here instead of continuing to wallow around in where we're stuck.
Awesome. Well, good. All right. Any last minute thoughts?
Could you one more time tell me what is the name of your business and what you label yourself?
We call ourselves the LoveWorks Solution. You can find us at loveworksforyou.com. And we have lots of free stuff there as well. We've got lots of podcasts. We put out a podcast a week and got lots of articles and podcasts. We do a monthly newsletter. So there's all kinds of free stuff there. If you just go to our website, you can check us out. loveworksforyou.com. I just put it in the chat box as well.
And if you don't mind my asking, just kind of on the spot, if you were to offer your greatest package, do you have your greatest package that you would offer us?
The greatest package I would offer you is come do our 2-day training. It's called Give Yourself to Love. It's freaking transformational, off the charts, awesome. It'll change your life.
Okay.
How's that?
I love it. If you don't share what you're offering, we have no idea, right?
Yep.
So good for you. All right. Ash, I saw you come in late. Did you want to pop in and say who you are and what you do real quick? before we move on to hot seats. And so start thinking about who wants a hot seat.
Sure. Sure. Hi, everyone. I love this. I love visualizations, and I think this was really good by, I love that, anchor that she used in the visualization. That was very helpful. So I actually am a leadership communications coach. I work with companies like Cisco and Uber, and always love to come to Katrina's meetings. I'm glad that now you're using the virtual format, Katrina. It's making it possible for us to come in more often.
Well, good. I've only been doing it for a couple of years, so good that you're popping in a couple
Yes.
Just playing.
Sure.
Just playing. Awesome. Cool. Make sure you're putting stuff in the chat, you guys. And so the recordings, I did put the link to the replay page in the chat as well, in case you always forget to go there. It's in there. It's a Jumpstart Your Marketing link, but it's SAC Speaker Webinars on the end. There's the Facebook group link is in there. The link to the actual meetup page, the iSpeaker Network. Tell your friends about these calls, you guys. I also posted a link to my upcoming event and all that. Okay, so let's get to a hot seat though. I know Barbara Ellison had something. Anybody else want to raise their hand and have anything they want support around or feedback on, or Tina? Okay, let's go Barbara and then Tina and see if we have time. Let's do like a 4-minute hot seat. So Barbara, let's get really specific with your need or your question, and then whoop, be quiet and let's get feedback.
Okay. Well, I've started this, moving on movement. This is new for me. And I know who my target, who I really want to talk to. So I'm taking a class right now in how to do a live launch. And so to launch like a 5-day boot camp. So one of the things was to get it down to like 4 words, so that my hashtag is get your happy back. And because I want to work with, people that have lost their partners through either death or divorce, because I've done both. My first husband, we divorced, and my second husband, that he passed away, he died. So, so I'm thinking of like what to name it. It's going to be a 5-day boot camp and I'm stuck on a name, which is so silly, because my get your happy back came right away.
Hold on.
But that's what my hashtag is and what I'm using. Sure.
Okay. But the hashtag should probably be the name of the thing, and so they should correspond, and so that might need to.
Okay, so that's what I think. That's what my question was. Should I use that same "Get Your Happy Back" as the title of my boot camp? I guess is what I'm saying. Or do I need a tag, or should I have a tagline too with it?
I don't have a problem. I don't mind that. I mean, it's pretty clear, but you might want a tagline like "Get Your Happy Back." Join the moving on movement for those who've lost a significant. Is it only for those who've lost a significant other?
Well, their partner, or whatever they, when you're recovering from a loss, it can be anything. It can be, getting downsized, but get your happy back. Right now, we have an unhappiness epidemic in this worldwide, and the more I'm researching it, it's like people hate what they do. They hate their job. They're not happy. Okay. The suicide rate is going up.
Let us give you some feedback.
So all of those things.
Let us give you some feedback.
So get your happy back.
It's a virtual thing, and it's paid. It's a paid virtual program, 5 days.
It's going to be a 5-day boot camp. It's going to be free, leading into a paid program.
So a free 5-day boot camp online on social media,
right,
with Zoom calls and a Facebook group.
Right. On Facebook. It'll be like a Facebook Live. It'll be, I've started a Facebook group.
So it's a place where people have to sign up to get in. Am I right? Or is it 5 days of Facebook
to join the group, to join the group.
So you're going to take
they'll join the group first. They'll join the group. And then we'll do a Facebook Live with them.
They're going to join the Facebook group, or they're going to join a list on your email?
Right. That's a good question.
You need to get
no, they're going to join the group. They'll join the group.
You need to get them into your email first, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Or concurrently.
So get my order. Okay. get an email for.
You want to be promoting this off of Facebook for those people who are off of Facebook to get onto an email list.
Okay.
And then take them to the Facebook group, and then you want to promote this on Facebook with a Facebook event, getting them to a group on Facebook. But then at some point, you're going to need to get the Facebook people into an email list, and the email people into the Facebook, so you can control the list more. First of all,
right? Okay.
But
get email and
join the Moving On movement for those of us who've experienced a loss and want more happiness. Anybody else have feedback for her name of her program? Feedback, idea?
So my thought is
I actually love it. Actually, that's Ash, by the way.
Okay. How about Ash, because he can't see us, and then Tina, and then Ariane. Go ahead. Ash,
I was just saying that I like the title because it's short and catchy as well.
You like what I suggested back to her? Is that what you're saying?
I think the get
okay, so keep get your happy back. Okay.
Yeah, it's short and it's meaningful. Yeah.
But I like having a tagline because, especially if you're going to talk to the specific audience. Tina, what were you going to say?
So regarding the tagline, I was thinking, get your happy back, break through the barriers of loss and grief. That's a little bit worrying.
Oh.
Loss and grief. So you're telling them where they've lost their happy. And that speaks to your specific niche.
Okay.
That's an idea. How about
because
let's just keep giving you ideas.
Yes, right. Okay.
Yeah, along the same lines, I was going for the subtitle, From Loss to Joy.
Oh, nice.
I was, if I can jump in, I was actually thinking move on from loss and grief, because you've got the move on movement. Just get your happy back. Move on from loss and grief.
I like that.
And then it's kind of connected to your.
All right.
If you're going to for sure do the moving movement, I think you need to use that in it as well.
Okay.
You know what?
I have a suggestion.
Okay, so could you do something like just join the moving on movement to move on from loss?
That's a little too many move on.
That be
Or
too
can I make a suggestion?
Too many move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's go to Shani and then back to Ariane. Thanks.
I was thinking, give me 2 seconds. I lost my thought. Okay. Let go of grief and gain your happy back.
Get your happy back, maybe, because that's her happy.
Oh yeah, get your happy back. Move. Let go of grief and get your happy back. Because I mean, grief implies loss of something, right? So maybe you don't even have to say loss, and then just say, give up the grief, gain your happy back, or something in that, like give it up, let it go, and get your happy,
So we want
see, because like there's when you have had when you've lost your spouse, there is that moment you're in widow fog for, however, I was in widow fog for 2 years. But I can tell you the exact day where I was, what I was doing, and where I was standing the day I woke up.
Okay.
So I want to work with women that have reached that point, that they're now woke up.
Okay,
but they don't know what to do. They don't know where.
That's marketing copy for your sales page and your videos that's going to promote it.
Right. So that's why I don't know whether I want to have grief, because like when I was in total grief, you're such in a fog, you can't even think anything. You can't even listen. I don't remember the first 2 years, but I know the day I woke up from that moment on. So I think that's where the get your happy back, because now you're ready to move on.
Thank you for that clarification.
Does that
Ariana,
make
do you
sense?
have another point that you wanted to make, or are you good?
Yeah. I think using move on past loss and grief is good. I think you have to be careful when you use the move on, because move on is so associated with sexual abuse.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'd like the moving on movement is just
right.
And like my group, the group I've named the Moving Honors. But now I'm like rethinking all that because that's what I'm hearing too. So that's what I was, but I love to get your happy back.
Yeah.
So
we're
before I get too far into my group.
Barbara, hold on. Just take feedback because we got to move on, okay?
Okay.
Ariana.
Okay.
Keep the sub short and sweet.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So, and Leah mentioned make sure to build your email first to build your list. She also says moving forward from loss and grief, get your happy back, how to emerge from loss and grief. But I think you want to be beyond the loss and grief. So join the moving on movement with women who are ready to, or have moved, moving beyond the grief. So I don't know. So we have to move on.
But this was all good words. So now I'll figure out how to put them in. Thank you so much.
And then the 5-day launch, maybe one of them is the widow fog and one of them is the this. And one of them, so pick the top 5 topics perhaps in your launch. Do videos.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We have time for
perfect. Thank you.
Quick hot seat. You're welcome. Tina, what you working on and how can we help you?
I had a wonderful coffee date today with somebody who has not been familiar with me. She went and looked at my information before we met to get a better understanding of who I am. And initially out of our conversation, she said, I'm confused. I don't know who you are. So I was like, oh, great. There goes my branding. So a lot of times I say I'm a holistic healthcare advocate. She said that doesn't mean anything to her. And after our conversation, she said, you're a life coach. Why don't you use the term life coach? And I thought about it. I was like, I don't know why I don't use that term. But what I likened it to was 32 years ago when I became a massage therapist, I would say I'm a massage therapist and people would look me up and down and ask if I work in a massage parlor. And they didn't understand that because massage therapy hadn't become a thing yet. And when I started doing life coaching, I think that's what happened also. People didn't quite understand what that is, whereas now they do. And so my question to you is, does that mean something to you? Like when you're a life coach, should you just say I'm a life coach? Do you have to specialize a niche in that, like wellness or, let me just start with that.
I don't believe you do. However, to stand out among the sea of life coaches, it is good to use some slightly different words these days. And be careful listening to one person giving you an opinion about your whole entire brand.
No, I agree with that. And I told her about you, and actually you guys are going to be connected. But I did just come off that. So I'm like, whoa, shocking.
I know, it's hard. It's hard when someone's really passionate about telling you their thoughts on something, and then it totally derails you from what you were thinking you were doing. And I'm not saying that it's not a good idea. I'm just, we want to be careful of the input that we're receiving and what we're doing with it.
Well, it did strike me and I found value.
Yeah, everybody's muted. Does anybody have any other thoughts for Tina about that and how to really differentiate herself? Or
yes, I would say use some of the words in front of coach to specify what kind of coach you are. That way, life coach is so broad because there's so many different forms of life coaching, So I would say wellness coach or holistic health, whatever, just to specify she's a life coach. But
maybe there's a way to sort of marry the two and to say that I'm a health advocate who coaches people in how to manage their health more effectively via natural means or whatever.
And that is part of what I do, but really I also teach, you know, the mindset coaching, the visualization, the nutrition, weight loss. What I can cover is quite large, so I don't want to just drive it into one niche. I want to keep it open. That's why it kind of resonated, like, wow, I am a life coach. Like, I help people with the different directions that they're going in their own life, and I can relate to many of those directions, so I can assist that way. And it's been very challenging, like Katrina says. I don't want to be in a box, so I really strive not to put myself in a box. And I don't want to have my image look as if I'm only specializing in one thing.
So maybe part of it is using coaching in a descriptive way rather than in a name tagging way.
And Shawnee, I'm sorry, I keep muting you because there's like this bubble noise with your. So I don't know. I think you're more than a life coach personally. Not that there's anything wrong with a life coach, but then again, life coaches also focus on typically the life wheel, where it's all the different spokes that matter to you in your life or career. And so you do touch on a lot of different things. You do it so differently though. And your website, you might mention, is Soul in Power. Soul in Power. So what if you're I don't want to say a soul coach because that's
creating your soul life coach. I'm a creating your soul life coach, or
or soul in power coach or something.
Coach, yeah, soul and power life coach.
How to differentiate you? Nobody else is a soul and power life coach. So
may I offer a tip as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so the tip I offer is basically, it's a formula for how I talk or how we talk about what we do. It starts with the question, do you know how? And we start describing what people are experiencing. So for example, I might say, you know how business owners always struggle with their accounting and the numbers, and sometimes they don't know where things are at and what the financial position is. That's the other phrase, that's when I step in. I step in and help them organize their accounting system, and I help them see where their money is at, where their cash flow is. That's what I do for my clients. So hopefully that's a way to also talk to others, whether it's in one-on-one conversations or on the website or in emails. It's a very easy way to sort of give everybody a sense of what the pain point is, where we're starting from, and where we want to go.
Got it. So do you know how and what I do?
Do you know how? And then I say, that's where I come in and I do X, Y, and Z for them. These are the outcomes I help them achieve.
Yeah. I don't know that a title is so important anymore. Sometimes it's just how you change, and you're going to keep evolving this, frankly.
Yeah.
So, you know how many titles I've had for myself? Good Lord, over the last 17 years. Mm-hmm. Probably 14 titles easily. Something to do with expert, strategist, coach, mentor. I had a Love and Money mentor. I mean, just keep changing it, whatever sounds good today. Honestly, it's craziness. Or in front of different groups, you might say different things,
I'm known to just say what pops out and then go, did I say that?
I think that's because you're tapping into what people need to hear, and I think that's important. So I know we're at the top of the hour. I want to be respectful of your time. Hopefully you guys have put in the chat what you've got going on. And it looks like Shawnee works with life coaches, just so an FYI. And Sonika put something about, do you know how couples fall out of love?
I was just giving an example about
that. Good. And okay, great. There's Shawnee put in a resource for American Marketing Institute. Great tool for creating your titles. Good, thank you.
I'm super good at that. I help coaches create creative content. I can do acronyms, really help you hone in on reaching your market. So if anybody's interested, Radically Empowered Woman on Instagram. You can message me.
Yeah, you guys need to make sure you can save the chat, by the way, right now instead of waiting for it to come next with the recording.
Oh, okay.
If you go down to the chat, there's a little 3 dots right there. And if you click on it, it'll say save chat, and then it'll save it to your computer right now. So you can actually then go and click all these links tonight or tomorrow and follow up with people, just an FYI. So any shout outs for what we have going on? Anybody have something coming up? I'm putting the link to that free webinar that I have Tuesday in here. And it's on the top 5 marketing revenue generating activities. So if you need to be more focused on what you need to do every week, every day, every week, then that webinar is going to be the one you want to attend, because too many people are distracted with bright shiny objects. So that's free. Anybody else have anything? I'm looking for hands or an unmute button that wants to share. Yeah, Tina.
I always have a free consultation / coaching. So if people don't want to just have a consultation, I literally will do 15 to 20 minutes of coaching to give them a taste of me.
Okay, wonderful. Anybody else? No? This is your opportunity to market yourself and share something fabulous that people can come to. Okay, next time come though with a copy paste and you can put it in the chat. Be ready. You know, it's funny because I have a Word document of all that stuff that I put in there. Whoop, it just goes in there every time, unless I change events and then I change the event. All right.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for contributions.
For everybody showing up and a couple hot seats. Thanks for being brave and sharing what you're doing.
Thank you. This was great.
Hey, thank you. Good.
We'll see you next month on the call. Watch your emails, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.